And man, I traveled all over. And again, still on culinary. Like I was taking culinary trips. That was my jam. And I studied.
Meaning like you would take trips, like personal trips based around food.
Based around food.
Yeah.
And that's and like extensive workshops. You know what I mean? So I studied from pastries, like the Viennese, like laminated pastries from a master baker in New Hampshire. And then I traveled to Paris and learned how to make the macaron. Which one of the first things I ever baked on my own was a mom's cake, a happy mom's cake that I wrote out in marshmallows. Do you know what I mean? Grandma was on the phone telling me how to make it. I was hurrying up to make it before my mom got it. It was awful. It was so bad. It was like the worst. I made it from scratch. And
she was probably like, Jeffrey, this is beautiful. And she's like, I ain't fucking eating this thing.
That's why it stayed there for weeks.
That's right. No, Jeffrey, I want to make this I'm going to preserve this. we're going to put a glass case over it, like a little,
Oh man. And dude, it was in Paris. I kid you not. That it all hit me. The culture of Monster was going a little weird. And I felt like, I was there for a long time, fully vested in my 401, never made that kind of money in my life. I made more money in a month than I did for a year. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
And I was like, man, it was an opportunity in my mind at the time to do something with it. And I didn't know really what it was going to be. I've always kind of wanted to be my own boss. And I always wanted to be that Jamie Oliver, if you will. And dude, I was on the airplane back from Paris and I was reflecting on all my stuff. And think that's where you should go to school. Go to like university where you get some critical thinking skills. Anybody out there wanting to level up? And dude, I put together a menu around crepes, if you will.
On the flight home.
Never had one until then. And it was filled with Nutella. That's why it's called the first time on my menu.
Yeah.
It was the first time I ever had one. And the market guy, the marché, the vendor was like so friggin' excited to give it to me. And I'm like, whoa. And then everywhere I went, it just seemed like people were so excited, especially the street food, to share with you their masterpiece. And I kid you not, that inspired me to write a menu. I would shop at the farmers markets here in town, and thank God for the Ahwatukee Farmers Market, the Scottsdale Old Town Farmers Market, and those guys, because that group told me if I could get the county to give me a permit, they would love to have me. And I called the company. Jenny Poon from Cahoots. She's the founder of Cahoots. Her and her husband, Odine, were the first people to come up with my brand for Truckin Good Food, right? Yeah. Responsibly feeding the streets. And this was in 2010. 2009 is when I came up with the LLC, TG Food Concepts, and the brand. 2010, right at the turn of the year, is when I launched Truckin Good Food without a truck.
Yeah.
I had a tent. I was like, because I'm frugal, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it seems like low risk. Crepes are low risk. Nobody's doing them. I can cook them to order, and I can give people that experience of the farmers markets that I experienced that changed my life from Nice and Paris.
Yeah.
And I called it Parisian style street food, and it became the 8th most influential food truck in the country. I think a year later, now I have a food truck. And dude, I went to battle a couple times for the coalition. I started the Phoenix Street Food Coalition because I wanted to make a change. I hate that, people dictate, especially in politics, whether or not people can show their passion or their craft. And there was a gridlock on where we could do business. And I was like, man, it's time for a change. Koji out in LA was changing it. The godfather of street food for real. The first James Beard award-winning chef that, was awarded for being on a food truck, Koji Tacos.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's time for a change, revolution. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's change this. And everybody's like, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, Jeff, go. Come with me. Nah, man, you just don't tell him I talked to you. Yeah.
Right. That's okay. That made me feel like I was back on the plate. Like taking one for the team. And I was like, that's when I was like, man, I'm limited on what I can do, what I can serve. and we had a lot of great movement and momentum. And I sold the assets, kept the intellectual property, and I opened Crêpe Bar in 2012.
Yeah.
And it has evolved quite a bit. And I have put all of what I've learned and experienced in life, and all my mentors and all my heroes and my mom that drives me and everybody like you're part of that list. Like I said earlier, like you inspire me to not be lazy. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
And you know what I mean? Like here we are going through 3.0.
Yeah.
And my team is great. We call it the CD family. Truly, I opened up my own thing because I wanted to control and foster the growth and cultivate opportunities for people that truly don't and wouldn't have an opportunity unless somebody like myself would give it to them. And again, it's hard work and it's hard. I say never for me because it's a choice, but working with me, which is why I'm single. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I am a very difficult person to be around because I'm not nonstop. And I've got, some of the best friends in the world. My staff is great and they accept me for who I am. I don't stop. You've got to be at 100% at all times. And I feel like that method that I told you earlier about holding the strawberry or like being as fast and slow.
Yeah.
I feel like when you can figure that rhythm out, man, you and I will always be in harmony. And we will, I feel, as collectively, individually, whatever, that's a perfect formula, perfect recipe to be successful in my Crêpe Bar culture. And man, luckily I don't have a lot of turnover. I've got people that have been there for a long time. Jack Mossler, there's no way Crêpe Bar would be there if it weren't for him. Not the way it is. It's magical with him there. Leah Hudgens, same thing. T. Williams, like she is a beautiful person, and we just got a lot of great staff, man.